Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Commander's Pod. I'm your Podfather, Duncan.
And I'm Sloan.
And once again, we are Jeffless. He is on another vacation.
Yeah, he must get real worn out from all these vacations he takes.
I know. He'll say, well, some of them are work. Yeah, okay.
I still have yet to see one where
Yeah.
it's more work than vacation. But
Yeah. I mean, when he's here, it's basically vacation, too. So,
it's true.
So anyway, we got some stuff to talk about. So we're going to talk about our pre-con league that we're doing. This is the second run, the second season, I guess.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about some things you can do. If you can't do a pre-con league, you don't have enough people.
Right.
Some other ideas that you can do on things to have an event, to shake things up, to have like a special thing, at your local store. Maybe you only have 8 people there that hang out and play EDH, but you can do this stuff with 8 people or whatever. So we'll have some ideas for that. We'll have some tales from the table from our pre-con league.
Yes, a great one. This might
really
be the best
good
one.
Jeff stars in this one.
Yes, this might be the best tales from the table that we've ever done.
I think it might be.
It's so great.
And the fact that Jeff is the star or the heel, depending on how you want to look at it. But we'll get to that.
Yep.
We have a That Doesn't Do What You Think It Does, and we'll have some pro tips for you.
Yep.
So, as always, we usually have an aggro Jeff.
Right.
When he is on vacation, when it's a planned thing, we usually try and guess
his aggravation
for the next week. So I feel like he definitely has had too many that have been magic related recently.
Right. This one for sure is going to be unmagic related.
For sure.
I'm going to guess. So he is on vacation. We know where he's at. I'm going to say that he did not realize that there is another event happening at the park or in the same city in which he is visiting. And he's going to be upset that it was a lot busier than he thought it should have been, because there is another event at another very popular park in the same city.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, so he is up in Orlando, and Halloween Horror Nights just started this past weekend. I don't think he knew that.
Yeah.
And so when he went up and planned this vacation to go to Disney like he likes to go, I don't think he realized that Halloween Horror Nights is going to be happening starting this past weekend. So I think he's going to be upset because he's going to be like, why is it so much busier? I don't understand.
On a holiday week. Come on.
Yeah. So I think that's what he's going to be upset about. I think he's going to complain about that.
I think he is going to complain because Disney passes that he has do not allow holidays. And I don't know if he realized that. He texted me, but he texted my work phone, so I didn't check it yesterday, which was Labor Day, for those that were recording the day after Labor Day. He texted me a magic question in the middle of the day. So I think they thought they were going to be at the park.
And yeah, they weren't.
Forgetting that it's a holiday because they were passed as weekdays. So I think that's what it'll be.
Yep.
Be better, Disney, he'll say.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
I pay all this money. I shouldn't have days off. I should be able to go whenever I want.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that.
So let's get into the tales from the table.
Oh, dude.
So pre-con league. So just as an update, third weekend, I still have 0 wins.
And what does that mean, Duncan?
It means that I switched decks. I was like, my deck was really good. Like, it was awesome. I'm pumping out these 4/4 dragons with flying and prowess. The problem is they don't have haste.
Yeah.
So everybody's pinging them off and wiping the board, and I got to swing like twice ever with dragons.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get cards that were working out for the deck, so I did switch. So I'm going to run the Scions and Spellcraft deck, but I'm not going to run the Standard Commander. I'm going to run, there's partner commanders.
Yeah, Ishtola is who he's talking about from Final Fantasy, but there is partners that are in the deck, they come in the deck, but they're actually fairly strong.
Yeah, and not expensive to get out.
No.
One of them says when you cast your second spell each turn, it costs 2 less.
Yep.
And the other one says when you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card.
Yep.
So when you bring them out, you bring out the one that says it costs 2 less.
Yep.
And then you bring out the other one for 2 less, which I think makes it a single blue.
Yeah. Very affordable.
So I think that's going to be a good combo.
Yeah, I think it actually, because of that, if you do it in that way, it makes it less than the assigned commander, which is Ishtola.
Which is 4.
Yeah. Because I think it makes it...
I think it makes it even, because I think they're
both 3.
that's right,
3. Because it's 2... Well, I think it's 1 blue, black, right? And then 2... Or 1 blue, white, black, white, and then 2 in a blue.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so it literally makes them Cost exactly the same.
Yeah, I'm not positive on the cost, but regardless, I think I'm going to play him. It's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, it should be fun.
I'll play at least for a little bit until I get enough stuff to make Ishtola herself better. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so first round, I can't remember who I faced. Not relevant to the story. Second round, I'm facing Jeff. I was frustrated by the first round because I thought I had something going.
Yeah.
And it just all of a sudden just fell apart at the end.
Yeah.
So Jeff, it's me, Jeff, and two newer players. Mm-hmm. One of them is very, very new. I had played against him the previous week, and he kept a 2-land hand, and I said, don't ever keep a 2-land hand.
Yeah, you're not Sloan. You're not allowed to do that.
Right? And then the other guy, I think, had a little more practice, and he had a lot of bluster. I didn't realize at first he was keeping very quiet. But anyway, he was playing that blame game, the white-red deck that Bryce thought about playing.
Yeah, it's from Murders at Karlov Manor, if I remember correctly.
Suspecting things and then goading anything that's suspected.
Right.
And it works pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty good deck. It was much better than I thought. Mm-hmm. But the thing I always thought about is it has a hard time finishing. But we'll get to that. So Jeff is playing Titus. Yeah. +1 counters on things. And he goes off. He has like the perfect hand. And it's like turn 5-ish. And his commander had 9 counters on it. Mm-hmm. And he had a Luminous Broodmoth that had 4 counters on it.
Right.
So he plays a card that doubles his counters.
Yeah.
So now he has 18 counters on his commander, and it gave them trample. And his Broodmoth now has 8 counters and is flying. Previous to him, the guy before him was the blame game player who had played a card that said whenever a creature deals damage to one of your opponents, it deals double that damage, or a permanent they control. It deals double that damage.
So incentivizing you to not swing it.
So now Jeff has double damage and double strike with a 21 power, 21 toughness commander.
Yeah.
And I believe it's about a 12 power Broodmoth.
Right, yeah.
So I have no flyers. He's going to swing the Broodmoth at me and kill me, he says. And he's going to swing and I had kept saying, by the way, to the blame game player, we have to do something about it. He goes, I'm not worried. Yeah. And I'm like, but we have to do something. And then we play Trample. I'm looking at the guy and he's like, I'm good.
My man.
And I'm thinking that he's expecting Jeff to play into his hands. That's what I'm thinking.
He's thinking that there's no way he's going to swing at me. I'm helping him kill somebody else.
Yes.
Right.
He can kill 2 other players and kill me the next turn.
Right, exactly.
So, anyway, he's like, I'm not worried. So Jeff swings at me with the Broodmoth, swings at him with Titus.
Right.
Okay. Commander lethal ×2 because he has double strike.
Right.
So
on the
even
first
if he blocks, though.
Yeah.
The second crack's going to kill him for
sure.
Right.
So, but the first crack alone, because don't forget of the counters, is 21 damage.
Yeah. So if he didn't block, it's lethal.
Yeah, exactly.
21 commander damage. So he looks at Jeff. He goes, you sure? And Jeff's like, yeah, I'm sure. I got to take you out. Okay. Taps 2 mana, a red and a white. At first, he taps a white, and I'm thinking, oh, he's got a sword as a commander. No, he taps a red too. I'm like, what's going on? Deflecting Palm.
Man, never has a card been better played than this one. So Deflecting Palm for all of our newer Magic followers. Instant, red and a white. The next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. If damage is prevented this way, Deflecting Palm deals that much damage to that source's controller.
So there's a couple things at play here. All right. Number 1, I have never seen Deflecting Palm used so well. Every time I built a deck, I tried to build a deck. Sheldon Memory had a deck like you can't touch this or something, where he would just be deflecting damage everywhere.
Right.
Fogging it, deflecting it, mirroring it back. And I'd heard about it, never seen it, so I wanted to try and build it. And I built a deck, and I could not get any of the stuff. I'd have deflecting poem in my hand. It's like, I'm not going to do it for 4 damage.
Right.
I'm not going to do it for 5 damage. I want this to mean something. This meant something. This was huge. Jeff's face was like, ugh. And I'm like, and I had tried to talk Jeff out from attacking. Obviously, I wanted to live, but I tried to talk him out from attacking. He was attacking. He had 1 blocker after he did this.
Right.
And there's a thing out that says creatures deal double damage.
Right. So, well, so it says.
It says damage is doubled.
Yeah. So the cool interaction here that's happening is when he is swinging at the guy that is casting the deflecting palm now, because technically now damage is being dealt to one of the guy's opponents, it's no longer 21. It is 42 damage that he is pushing back into Jeff's face.
Yes. Jeff had nothing. Precons don't come with his vaunted Teferi's protection.
No, yeah. Get your T-Pro. This is why you have cruxed yourself with T-Pro, Jeff. You are so used to having that shield.
I tried to talk him out of it because he only was going to have 1 creature. I was like, you could still die to this guy.
Right.
Before I knew who he was attacking with the second one, I'm like, either one could attack you. They could put something out with haste or give their things counter or steal your counters. Like, there's things that can happen.
Right.
And he was bound and determined. So he killed himself and me in the same swing. It was amazing. Yeah. And while I was salty about him killing me and wasting his turn by dying, I was like, that was amazing. That
was awesome.
I was like, that was well done. I was just and the coolness of, you sure?
Just
okay. It was just awesome. So that was pretty amazing. And Jeff's like, so we said to him, why'd you do that? And he's like, well, I had protection. He shows this thing he could have cast that would have given his things shield counters.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not what you should be worried about.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't think, well, there's no way I could die right now, you're leaving yourself with 1 single blocker. It has no counters. It was like a 3/3 or something ridiculous. It wasn't going to stop anything.
Right.
If they flew, it was going to fly right over him. Like, there was a good chance he could die.
Yeah.
But in his mind, he was taking out 2 players. That was the best chance he had. And to be fair, this other guy, even though I told him not to play a 2-land hand, he played a 3-land hand, but he didn't have 2 of his colors. So I guess I had to be more specific.
Yeah, you don't play a 3-land with no colors in it. Yeah. So.
But that was amazing. So
sick
it was
play.
Sick play, well done. I believe the guy's name was Garrett that did it. Well done, Garrett. Bravo. Well deserved win because he did end up winning that game.
That is sick.
Yep. So that's our table tale for today. That doesn't do what you think it does. This is a weird one. So, and you're gonna, when I'm gonna say it, you're gonna be like, okay, but who cares? But I'll tell you why you care. Tribal, I learned this weekend, is a type, not a super type. Now, for those that don't know the terminology, a super type is like legendary, right? That's a super type because creature or artifact or enchantment is a type.
Right.
And then legendary is a descriptor to that type. It's a super type. It's not it's not a type, okay? When you're counting types, it's not a type. So tribal is a type, not a super type. What that means is I've seen all these cards that say, like, if you have 4 different permanent types in your graveyard, this happens. You can have 8 with this if you have a tribal deck, or now a kindred deck, I guess.
Right.
You know, you can have 8 because you can have all. Well, you can. I think there's 5 type permanents. Anyway, whatever it is, you can have double because it can also be tribal. It can be a tribal creature.
Right.
It can be a tribal enchantment. It can be a tribal. I don't know of any tribal planeswalkers actually, but anyway.
I don't know of any off the top of my head.
Yeah, but the point is that you can now have. It's another type. So if it's an instant, that card has 2 types. It's a tribal instant. It's a type, tribal, and type instant.
Yeah.
So for cards that count types, it matters.
Yeah, so the easiest way to know if it's a super type or type, specifically for creatures, it's the easiest way to tell, is there is a dash when you look at it. So Duncan might put a card up behind us. So for a legendary creature like the one behind us, you'll see it says legendary creature dash, and then it says a bunch of different things. the pre-dash super type. The post-dash
Creature
is
is not a super type. Creature is a type.
So,
so the leading thing is usually a super type. That's
Yeah.
why I thought tribal was. If it says legendary creature or legendary artifact, legendary is a super type.
right.
Okay, so that's why I thought tribal was, because it came first. That's the way I had learned it, was it comes first.
Yeah.
As it turns out, you can't go by any format, actually. You have to just know. Tribal is the only one I've been told that is different. So
Right.
it's one. So the other types are, enchantment is a type. Enchantment aura is not a type.
Right.
It's a subtype. So
Right.
there's super types, types, and subtypes.
Yeah. Because it's super simple.
Yeah, yeah. As with everything with
Right,
Magic.
right, exactly.
But anyway, that doesn't do what you think it does. Is tribal is a type, not a super type.
Yeah.
It's only going to matter when you have those cards that count types.
Mm-hmm.
But it does give you some extra options to throw in there. Now, the problem with tribal instants or tribal enchantments is you cannot play them unless you have a creature of that type.
Yeah, that's the same thing with when they started doing legendary sorceries. It says on the card, if you read it in the description, you cannot cast this unless you currently control a legendary permanent.
Right.
So the tribal thing is exactly the same in that
Idea.
regard. Yeah, and that is with that idea.
Yep. All right, so let's get into our league event ideas.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's ways for you to be able to have even a small event or a small get-together and do something different.
Yeah.
Okay, these are tried to come up with some not as common things. So the first thing I did you can do the precons. Everybody buys a precons.
Yeah.
And then you set what upgrades are allowed each week.
Yeah.
Each week you can put in $5 worth of cards, or each week you can put in 1 pack worth of cards or 2 packs, whatever you guys are comfortable with both financially and what you think will be fair.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you could have a preset box of things that they can pick from.
Right.
You can get any 3 cards from this box of random cards we have every week or whatever it is. Just a way to make the deck better and better each week.
Right.
So that's one. It's kind of like what we're doing. That's one idea. Another one I had was to do a budget build. We've done this before.
Right.
We actually talked about it on the early days of our podcast, but that was pre-video.
Right.
And I know video, YouTube watching people tend not to be audio all the time, so I'll bring it up again. Set a budget. And we went hardcore. We went $25 budget, and that was tough. But you can make some pretty good decks.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely build something that is sub 25 that's very strong. There's some commanders, like we found out, that even with a $25 restriction, they're still just going to be monsters to deal with. Brago is the one we always bring up that Jeff built, sub $25, and it was just a menace still. Because the ability and the way it works is just so easily abused that it doesn't matter. You can have $10 worth of cards in there, and it will still probably be just oppressive. So, but yeah, doing a budget build is always fun. You can set a limit, $25, $50, $75, $100, whatever you want to set, and you can then set the parameters. Including commander, excluding commander, including basic lands, excluding basic lands.
So like when we did it, we did including lands, even basic lands. Mm-hmm. You had to include that in the count. When I brought it to my store that I play at, Mystic Forge, and brought it to the guys, but this was pre-Mystic Forge, I guess. This was
Pop-In Comics. Yeah, this was a while ago.
When I brought it to them, they didn't like the idea of the lands being included, so we didn't. It didn't make a huge difference. I mean, the lands were like 2 or 3 cents.
Yeah, if you do basic lands, like if you include named lands, that's fair because again they're specific. But basic lands, there's no real reason to include them because technically you can go to any card shop you want and they'll probably give you 15, 20 of each for free.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, it's hard to argue that basic lands have a cost when people are willing to give them away for free.
Right.
So, but yeah, the actual like named lands, obviously you'd still count. But yeah, basic lands, if you don't want to include those, you don't have to. Sometimes people will do it. It's $25 for the deck, but your commander can kind of be whatever you want. Cost-wise.
Which I caution against that because Edgar Markov is out there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not $100 anymore, but he's still like $25. So.
Yeah. So, but it just depends on how you want to do it. But yeah, the budget build is fun. It's cool. You gotta kind of flex your research skills a little bit and your build skills to really make it work. Sometimes.
And like we said, you can still build gross stuff. We didn't even go hardcore. We weren't like, okay, I'm going to research this and I'm going to buy all these cards on TCG. We all kind of use cards we had.
Right.
Might have bought a couple from the local shops, but we didn't go hog wild and like go on TCG Player and order a bunch. And Jeff we all built a few of them. I still have some of mine. I have Carter the Doom Scourge, which is a gold deck.
Yep. Yeah, I took apart all 3 of mine. 2 of them specifically because they were extremely mean. And to the point of where Jeff literally told me, he goes like, don't ever pull those out in front of me again. I will not play.
Yep.
I will make you play a different deck.
So you can make disgusting things with even $25.
Yep.
But it's a way to set a budget that's fair. Everybody builds under that. And now you have more rules that you can help make it fair.
Right.
You can still follow the tier system or not. I mean, however you want to do it. But anyway, that's another idea. The other one I'm calling Rakdos Roulette. It doesn't have to be Rakdos, but it just seems like a very Rakdos thing to do.
Right.
Everyone build a deck to specific tiers or guidelines, whatever those guidelines are. And then you assign the decks to each player randomly.
Right.
So you're not necessarily going to play the deck
you
own. In fact, I would say you get your own deck, you have to roll again.
Yeah, so essentially the way this works is, for example, if you have a pot of 4, let's say, you each build 2 decks and you bring them each, and then you just roll a D8 and you assign a number, and whatever you roll, boom, that's your deck.
Yep.
And so what that does is that shows kind of your ability to play a deck that you don't know what's in there really, and what you could do, because the fun thing with that one is you can say, hey, once everyone gets their decks, you have 15 minutes to go through it and look at what cards you have and everything, and then that's it, we're playing. So that way, it's really like no one really has any idea what they're playing. Yep. And like it's whatever you saw when you were looking through it real quick, and then you got to start playing. That's a really fun way too, because that will give you a chance maybe to play decks or cards that you don't have in your own collection, and someone else had them and put them in this deck. So that's fun.
It also helps you break out of like, I'm a very control player.
Right.
I do have some aggro decks, but most of my decks are control. So if I get an aggro deck or
they aggressively control.
A Voltron deck, like I don't really have a Voltron deck.
Right.
Oh, I guess I do. It's Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine's very Voltron-y.
Yeah, he is. But I mean, not a traditional Voltron. I'm not putting tons of equipment on him.
Right.
I'm just, buffing him with spells and stuff.
Buff, murder.
Yeah. Actually, swing.
Buff.
They don't block. Buff.
Murder.
But anyway, so. Yeah, so it gives you some different play, lets you play different styles, break out of your kind of standard how you normally would play.
Right.
The next one I said was EDH Gauntlet. So a gauntlet is where you make several decks or have several decks, and then you play each one. So like what I said is you do 3 decks each, have 3 rounds. Each round you can use a deck, but you can never repeat.
Right.
So if you use a deck, that deck is now done. You have to pick one of your others.
Right.
And so, you kind of pick, the way I would suggest is you all pick kind of covertly. Yeah. And then all at once reveal so that nobody's like, oh, I'm going to play this one because that goes against that.
I would almost say you should do it random too.
Yeah.
The reason why I like the randomness is because with the gauntlet that is becoming very popular.
The Highlander Gauntlet.
You actually have no repeat cards either in these decks.
That's an even more hardcore.
Yeah, which is very hardcore, which you don't have to do with this. You can obviously, if you want to set your own rules, you can. But the fun thing about this is with the randomness of, okay, I'm going to build 3 different decks, and if you did do it like the Highlander Gauntlet version where you can't repeat any cards in it, you might say, I'm going to put all my eggs in this basket that this deck's going to win. So I'm going to put the Soul Ring, the Arcane Signet, I'm going to put the Tutor. I'm going to put everything I can in this one deck to guarantee I get at least one win. Because the cool thing is you could, if you go that strategy, you're hoping that I get to kind of pub stomp the other 2 decks or whatever the case, or 3 decks, whatever the case may be. And you're taking a chance. Or you might be someone that plays like, you know what, I'm going to give all my decks an somewhat even chance of winning each game, so maybe I can pull out 2. So it's a really cool idea and strategy. And I like the idea of randomly deciding which one you do. So just kind of roll a dice or whatever on the table, and then it's like, okay, this was 3, this is the one I'm playing, and then everyone reveals their decks at the same time and start having at it. Yep,
and you can all you can set again what parameters you want here.
Yeah.
If you want them all to be tier 3 or under,
yeah,
or whatever that parameter is that you want, you could even say anything goes, but you can only have one of each tier.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so
everyone has to build a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3.
Yeah. So, and if you do that, then you might not do random. You might do okay. We're gonna do, but that I think kind of defeats the purpose because then you're just gonna play tier 1 versus.
Well,
tier
I
1.
think it'd be funny if you still did it random, because if your tier 1 goes up against the 2 tier 3s and you happen to win somehow, it would be hysterical, first off. And then second of all, I got a tier 2 and 3 left. They already used their best deck.
Yep.
I got a pretty good chance.
I mean, that's true. That's true. But
I
that's not going to be as fun for that person playing the tier 1 against the tier 3.
Listen, Sloan's playing Rakdos Gauntlet. I'm pure chaos. I'm down for the chaos.
Yep.
So I think, but again, the point of these that we're giving out, to reiterate, is to kind of help you guys find a way maybe to, if you don't have a commander-driven event like our store now has for us to go to, even if your shop's not huge, like Duncan was saying, if you have a 8 or 9 person play pod that you guys, it's kind of like, we're just going to meet up and play Magic. Well, here's just variants for you guys to mix in maybe to help break up the repetitiveness, because we all do sometimes fall victim to, I'm just going to keep building the same deck over and over and over again. It's different colors, but it's just the same deck still. That's something I try to consciously keep in the back of my head when I try to pick a new commander to build a deck around, is like, I really want to play something I don't have. What is something I absolutely don't have anything even remotely close to? And to kind of give you an idea, I just built Tails. Miles Prower from the Sonic, and he's a vehicle deck. I finished him up. I'm loving it. It's so fun. It is the derpiest thing in the world, because he puts a flying counter on your vehicle if it doesn't have flying when you cast it. If it does have flying, you get to draw a card. So I'm like, I have a flying submarine that's hitting people and drawing me. It's just a silly deck, but it's super fun, and I'm legitimately enjoying playing this deck that I don't have anything even remotely close to it, despite what Jeff always says, how I'm the vehicle guy. I have one deck with like 3 vehicles in it.
Besides this one.
Besides this one now that I just built specifically because of Jeff always saying I'm the vehicle guy. So I'm officially now the vehicle deck guy. I have one. But yeah, getting out of the repetitive habit of, I'm just going to keep playing basically the same type of deck over and over again, but maybe just it's in different colors or it's a different themed commander. These are just great ways for you guys to maybe bring this to your play group. It doesn't have to be your store. It doesn't have to be a store-driven event. Maybe you guys just meet up at your local shop and get to play it. And who knows? Maybe your store will pick it up and they'll try to do something.
Right. You could talk to them. Maybe they're like, hey, yeah, I mean, well, if you guys want to all chip in $5, we'll give you prize support or something like that. So there's ways you can do it. But the next one is a pick a commander challenge. Now, yes, you could do one of 2 ways. You say, okay, Sloan, I'm going to pick a commander for you to build that I don't think you would normally build, and you pick a commander and he builds it. Yep. And then you play the decks that you have challenged each other. Or you build a whole deck for somebody else. Like your pick player is almost like a Secret Santa.
Yep.
And then you build the deck for them, something that you think they might like, but they haven't tried before. You haven't seen them play.
Yeah, I mean that's a cool way to, like Duncan's saying, it gets somebody to get out of their zone of deck building that they do.
What would you assign to me if we?
What would I assign to you? Ooh, that's a good one. You know what I'd actually probably assign to you? I might go White Weenie for you.
Okay.
Something that's like, it's slow and you kind of have to build it up and you can't, like, you don't have access to, because if I pigeonholed you to one color that's not blue, I feel like that's kind of how I get my grab on you to not do the same thing. And it's really hard to find a white commander that lets you build counters and control very easily.
I don't think anymore. I think I could just go to Final Fantasy and find like 4.
Yeah. But what I'd probably do is I'd probably go something with, like, I would stay away from blue. I would not give you access to blue at all. So you can't have any of your counters or anything like that. I'd probably give you white. Might go like white-black, because I don't think I've seen you play too many white-black decks. And maybe go something kind of like that where it's creature heavy or...
I have a couple white-black decks. I have several. My Lisa Dust Shroud of the Dusk is one of my favorite decks. That's the one where everybody has to pay 2 life when she's out whenever you cast a spell.
Right.
And then I have other things that stack onto that. And
yeah, I'd maybe more go like the token route, like token
I do have you haven't seen it, I haven't played it against you. I have a white-black spirit deck.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. But hey, I try to go something away from blue, keep you out of the counter world.
You know what I would want you to do?
Oh,
I would go the opposite route. I would want you to build Nekuzar.
Oh gosh.
One of the meanest decks out there, where drawing cards hurt so bad.
I would be a bully. I would tell you right now. I have like 4 cards I would immediately put in there, and they're not even expensive. Like it's not even like wheel. I would just put ones that are just like really basic. You get to draw cards because I love you.
Yeah. See, the one I put in there, but you don't play it till end of game because it's expensive, and B, you don't want them doing this all game. The Forced Fruition that says whenever they play a spell, they draw 7 cards.
Right. Yeah.
Once you have like 3 damage per card, that's that's real good.
Yeah. Nekuzar would be mean. That'd be a mean one.
But anyway, so you pick a commander, have somebody else build it, or you build a whole deck for them. Mm-hmm. And then the last one I have is non-legendary commander build. Now this one has an asterisk because there are some very gross things you can use that are not allowed to be commander.
Right.
I did this once, and I did Mana Gorger Hydra. So that's the one that whenever it has trample, it's a Hydra, mm-hmm. and whenever an opponent or whenever any player casts a spell, it gets a +1 counter.
Right.
That everybody hated it. I had to stop playing it. It's too strong. Yeah, it's too good because it only costs 3 mana. I can have it out turn 2, maybe definitely turn 3.
Right.
People have to cast spells. They can't choose not to.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's the thing is when you take away the legendary, which is funny to say because it seems like the legendary rule isn't that pigeonholing. Yeah, but once you take it away though, you realize real quick. Yeah, no, it actually keeps back a lot of shenanigans from happening, which is really cool. So that is a fun way to do that. There's a couple ideas I had too, but just to piggyback off that one since we're on it, one of the things you could do too is that they did. In June, I think, of this year, they did, where you can pick 2 commanders that don't actually have partner and make them partners for a partner deck. So that's a cool thing, too, because for all of you newer Magic players, partners and what's the other one called? It's
Friends Forever?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that was not a thing till more recently. Like, beginning of EDH and for most of its existence up until this point at least, partner commanders weren't a thing. So you were rocking solo. And then they did the backgrounds too, which is another new thing, which is like a partner, quote unquote. But yeah, so that's another cool thing you can maybe do. One of the ideas that I had was random, I called it. So you select a random commander that you have to build, and then you select a random set that you get to use to build that commander with.
Oh, that can be rough. All sets are not created equal.
Exactly. So I thought that's a fun way to kind of be like, oh man, I hope I get a good set that goes with this kind of idea of this commander. Or you're going to be like, well, this is not going to be a good game for me, boys.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things that could be more fun. The other way you could do it too that I was thinking is you could do still the random commander, but then each week you get random packs that you get to. So, if let's say your shop has 10 different packs to choose from, you roll 1d10 3 times and you get whatever you land on. Those are the 3 packs you have to get and use to upgrade, or use to start building your commander with or what have you. So that was one of the ideas I had because, again, I kind of like the idea of not being able to specifically choose stuff. Because I think one of the fun things with the challenge that we've been doing at the shop with this Commander Precon League is you have to really flex your deck building skills.
Yeah.
And really exercise that side of I got to find lines. I have to find ways to get to the end of the game because I have limited resources to do it with. I have the Precon cards and I have whatever pack I bought that week plus the previous packs, right? So I kind of like the idea of if you're going to do stuff like this, to me, that's something that's going to be more fun. And also I think that makes it a lot more even. You don't have to worry about people who are going to get way ahead really quickly because of something that's a little less randomized and more strategized. So that was the one of the ideas I had. And then the last one I had, which I know there's been a lot of podcasts that have done this, is no card over $1. So your entire deck cannot be more than per card $1 more or more.
Right.
So you go and find, for example, which is funny, it kicks out like Soul Ring because Soul Ring's like $1.50. You can't have it.
Can't have Arcane Signet.
Can't have Arcane Signet. So you have to find cards to replace these staples. And again, that's something where you kind of get to go flex your. Let me dig into the pool of cards available.
Because with the budget build, let me tell you something that some of us did.
Yeah.
All of our cards were like 5 cents, 8 cents. Maybe 12 cents.
Yep.
Well, you get to the end and you're like, I'm only at like $13.
Yep.
So you take something out and you put in a $12 card.
Yeah.
And it's a really good card.
Right, exactly.
So people would be like, you'd play it and they'd be like, whoa, how did you? Because everything else was so cheap.
Right, exactly. So I like the idea of maybe doing it every card, including your commander. Every card has to be sub $1.
Yeah.
So,
there is also Pauper Commander.
Right, there is Pauper Commander, which is every card is, it's kind of that idea as well. But yeah, I mean, I think the idea of being able to try to find substitutes for staples is always, to me, that's fun because, you may not always have 60 versions of Soul Ring laying around and 60 versions of Arcane Signet laying around. And, and so sometimes it's, I'm going to maybe make this deck a little bit weaker just for the fact that I maybe don't have these cards readily available to myself. And, that's okay. You don't have to, spend $40 every single time you build a new deck because you need to have all the $40 worth of staples.
Yep.
So
I also wanted to share with everybody and you actually too. So something came up in the league this week that was very interesting. We were talking about it stinks. You buy 3 packs and you really get nothing to put in your. It doesn't happen often. Usually you get at least one thing, but sometimes you're struggling to figure out what you can use, if there's anything good. So Andrew said, what if we did it as a draft? You pick your 3 packs.
Oh, yeah.
You sit down in a 4-person pod. You open your first pack. You take out the one card that you want
and
above all else. Pass it down.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Now everybody's probably going to get really good cards for their deck because they're all. I would specifically make it. You wouldn't want there's now 4 or 5 of us playing the Ishtola deck. You wouldn't want us sitting in a pod. We're just going to be.
Well, what I would even say is here's a good way to do it. So you buy your 3 packs and you only open 2 of them and you save 1 to be your draft pack. And the first pod you sit down in, that's who you draft with. So it's completely randomized.
That's true.
And then that way you have 3 other witnesses to what cards are in that.
The problem with that is they'd have to give us, because right now they give us an hour to open our packs and make our changes.
Right.
So they'd have to do 45 minutes to still give an extra 15, 20 minutes before the first one.
Right. But again, if you're only opening 2 packs, I feel like taking away from the hour is doable, right?
Yeah. It's possible.
So I feel like that would be
like
fun.
that. But I think that the way of doing them all, you're going to get better stuff.
Right, but I think what that does is, though, it makes it so – because if you do all 3, right, and if you don't find a way to easily make it random pods every time, you might have people that are kind of sandbagging. They're like, okay, I'm going to buy 3 lesser packs to go sit in a pod with this guy that I know just bought 3 Final Fantasies or 3 Edge of Eternities. I'm going to go buy 3.
No, they'd have to randomize the pods you sit in.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
So I do know Bryce is watching. I think he knows this too. I hope he keeps his mouth shut about it. They are careful when they seed the pods. If they know there's 2 players that really do not get along.
Yeah.
They just faced each other last game. They will not have them. They'll reseed it again.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
they're all right. No, they did once. Let's not.
We're gonna split
test fate and try it again.
Right.
But but they would have to randomize it. I do think it could make your decks a lot better, faster.
Yeah.
But the thing everybody brought up is, well, what if somebody opens and they get a really good, valuable card? You're perfectly welcome to take that, just like in regular draft.
Yeah.
If you want to take value over what goes good in your deck, that's fine. And it actually can help you later because they are going to open it up to trades at some point.
Yeah.
But I think doing it this way would help make everybody feel like at least that they have more control over their deck.
Yeah, I mean, because basically what it does is it increases your odds of potentially getting something since you're technically seeing 4 packs per pack you're buying instead of just the 1. So, I mean, it definitely is a cool idea, and I definitely think it's something they could do. I think, though, if they were to do that, I would say, 1, they would have to start it from the beginning, but 2, don't open up trades.
I don't think you have to do it at the beginning, and I would say you just open up trades later. Do it
Maybe.
week 8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's 6.
But I thought it would be I think it would be fun.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not good at draft. I'm not the best at it.
But the thing is, you're not building a whole deck. You're just taking the best card for your deck out of the cards in front of you,
Yeah.
which is less than a pack.
Yeah.
Or at most a pack.
Right.
But anyway, I mean, I think it could work. Because,
sure.
like I said, one of my frustrations with my old deck was, so I opened 9 packs over the 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I did Bloomborough all 3 times because I did research, and Bloomborough had the most instants and sorceries in red and blue, which is what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
I got Spellgire one week, which was my best card I got out of any of the weeks,
Okay.
which is great because it's a counter. It's a 4-cost counter, but at least it's a counter, right?
Right. Yeah.
I got another one the next week.
Oh,
I can't put 2 in my deck.
yeah.
And again, it was the best one I opened that week. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Like, I really struck out, and it made no sense. And then sitting across from me is a player who also got Bloomborough and got like 3 of the cards I wanted, but they don't work in their deck.
Yeah.
Like, if we had been doing draft, at least it would have been passed around. I'd have a chance at it.
Yeah. I'll say this. When I was playing in the league, and no one knows this except for me, which just makes me even more enraged. I went up to buy my packs, and this is when Final Fantasy had just dropped. And they had just gotten the box and put it aside. And I walked up, and they said, hey, do you want 3 Final Fantasies? I was like, no, I need to go with Thunder Junction because I was doing the committing a crime stuff. And I was like, I need to go with Thunder Junction because there's a lot of stuff in there I still need. So I got my 3 Thunder Junction packs. Someone walked up right behind me. I won't say who it is. They got 3 Final Fantasy packs. They pulled a VV. And I was like, probably would have been
who that was.
That would have been my pack if I would have said yes to the Final Fantasies.
Yep.
I was like, dude, I was so mad because I was trying to pull Vivi for the longest time because I would have immediately made that my commander in League.
Yeah.
Immediately. Because I had so many blue-red spells I was spell slinging with already because of the committing a crime. So I was like just enraged about just the absolute crap luck that I got when I said no to the 3 Final Fantasy packs, and I could have popped a Vivi. So. Yeah, I get that. I get the feeling.
Yeah. But so you will have to make that choice if this idea goes through. But I think it gives you a better shot to have a more competitive deck sooner. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's some ideas we had for how you can have events or have even small get-togethers where you do something a little different, shake it up a little.
Yeah.
Of course, there is also Commander Draft or a Commander Cube.
Yeah.
Commander Cube, somebody has to build it. Or you build it as a group.
Yeah.
If you build it as a group, they have to become communal cards. You know,
right.
because
so everyone has to be okay with everyone using it.
Either that or you penny sleeve each one and put on the back who owns it.
Yeah.
Which can be a pain. But that can be a lot of fun. But it is very time consuming. I've started it several times. But what happens with me is I build so many decks, I'm like, I need that.
Yeah, you start taking them out. Yeah. And I will say the last thing is, too, and this is something that I really want to do for us if we are able to start playing games on our channel and recording them, is just set like an 8-week league thing and just keep track of who's winning and have points, and like everyone just amongst your table just, hey, throw in $5 each, and at the end of it, first place gets 15 and second place gets $5, you know, and you can just keep track of score, make up your own point system. Commander Versus does it.
And it doesn't have to be $5 if you're doing over multiple weeks and you guys really don't have the money, or one of the guys.
Well, I'm saying for the end of the league.
I'm saying $5 total for the whole league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like each person just puts $5 in for the whole league, or you each bring a pack, and at the end of it, first place gets to pick what 2 packs they want first, second gets 1 pack, and then third gets 1 pack, the last one. You can do it a bunch of different ways, and you can make up point systems how you score. Commander Versus has a point scoring system I think is really cool and fun. You get points for saving players. You get points for casting your commander 4 or more times a game.
What would the point? Isn't there points for like? Wouldn't there have been I thought there was some kind of point that might have applied to our table tail.
Yeah. So if you if you save a player from losing a game, you get a point, and if you don't cast your commander, you lose a point. If you cast them 4 times, you get a point.
But nothing for if you save yourself?
Nothing for if you save yourself.
Because that was amazing.
If you save somebody else, you get a point. If you save another player at the table from dying, you get a point. So, there's a lot of cool things you could do. That's the one great thing about this game is you can play it different ways.
Yep.
So, hopefully these are some fun game ideas for you guys to take with just maybe your own little home play group, or maybe to a shop play group, or to your shop even.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, you don't have to have a shop that's good at doing this. You can say to them, hey, would you mind if I try and organize this myself?
Yeah.
I'll make it clear that you guys are not sponsoring this in any way, but I think it would be fun to do. And I don't know why they would object. They're getting guys in there to play.
Right.
It's going to build excitement. They may even be like, hey, we'll help out.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you go to any business and you say, hey, is it okay if I bring a bunch of potential customers in here and have them sit down for 4 to 5 hours playing a game that you sell products for, and you don't have to sponsor us or do anything besides just open up your space to us, which you already do? I don't know too many shops that are going to say no.
Yeah, exactly.
that's a real stickler.
They may want to make sure you don't overpromise something and promise some prize you can't support or anything like that. But other than that, they're going to be like, yeah, please, thank you.
Use our space.
Yeah. But anyway, so you got any pro tips this week?
Yeah, so pro tip, as I mentioned, I built a vehicle deck over the weekend while they were playing in the Commander League, which I'm not a part of this time around. I decided to go in there and look through their bulk. Go to your store's bulk and check it out. I think I bought between 40 and 50 cards for $12.
Yep.
And they are some super fun cards, and I even got upgrades for my Ninja deck that I didn't even know I wanted until I saw them, and I said, yeah, I want that. I got a card that says my ninjutsu costs 2 less.
Yep.
And then I got another one that says it's a ninja, and when it deals damage, create treasure tokens. Yes, please. Yeah. I would absolutely take that.
No, bulk is amazing.
And, it's great. And the thing that's really cool too is, again, most of your shops, if they've been around for even somewhat of a little bit of a time, they have a lot of bulk that's just sitting over there on the shelf that you're more than welcome to sit down and go through. Our shop does a good job of keeping it pretty organized. By color, by categorized by alphabetically, common and uncommon, rares, things like that. So, but go check out your bulk, because you might find some gems in there that you didn't even know you needed or wanted or existed that you can get for pennies. And
so on Sunday I was bored, so I was like, hey, anybody want to get together at the Forge and play? And so Andrew, myself, Lizard, this guy, he knows Chad, and then Mike, our friend from work, all showed up to play. But I was there first. People didn't get there when they said they were going to, so I just went through the blue bulk rares.
Yep.
Because I don't know if you guys know, blue's my favorite color.
Shocker.
But I found cards. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I can think of this thing I can do with that. Oh, and I have more cards than most people.
Yeah.
I only know one person in our group that has more cards than me.
Right.
So for me to find cards I didn't know about, it's tough. And it's like, but there was actually quite a few.
Yeah, and I pretty much built my entire vehicle deck out of that bulk that I bought on Saturday, and I bought so much that I can't get them all in my deck that I just built. Like, I overbought, and it was $12.
This is unique to our store.
It is.
But they have full art lands for like 20 cents each.
They do.
And I have started only using full art lands because I had so many.
Yeah.
But I have now started running out, so I went and bought a stack like that, and they're like, it's $15. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So go check out your bulk shelf if your shop's got one. I mean, there could be real good cards in there, gems of cards that you've never even heard of or seen that. You look at it, you're like, how have I never heard of? Like, why is this not on any deck list I've ever seen for this guy?
Yeah.
Because they're just good cards. They just are. And so
that's the thing about deck lists online. They're only as good as the card pool of the
person who built it,
or who, things get added periodically by somebody else or something, but it's all limited by their knowledge of card pool. With over 35,000 cards, there is no soul in the world who knows by heart every card.
Right.
So they're going to miss things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you know of something that nobody else knows about, and then it gets put on the internet and it ends up costing $10. And you're like, no.
Yeah. I mean, and to that point, like even EDH Rec, which is probably one of the most extensive when it comes to deck building, because they just take information from a bunch of decks online. Even they do not have every card that could possibly go in that deck because no one online put it in their deck.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for them to show it. And that's the thing is we always kind of talk about when you're deck building, finding ways to make it work with what you have available to you. a bulk section, you can, like I said, you can go in there and you can get 30, 40, 50 cards for like $10.
Yep.
And I know some people are like, well, listen, I'm on a budget. I myself am on a budget. I do not have expendable income to the point of where I can buy boxes for every single set that comes out. But however, I can get together $10 to go buy 50 cards.
Yep. If you don't have it now, save up for a few weeks and go.
Yeah, save for a week or two and go in there. I mean, even if you can only spend $5 at a time, if you go to the bulk section, that's 20 cards you could get.
Yep. Without fail, whenever anybody is going through there, I always hear,
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I didn't know about that.
And you'll be astonished at how many legendary creatures are uncommons and commons that would be great fun commanders. I mean, great commanders to play.
So I do a similar thing where I go through the cards I actually own.
You forgot about collecting dust.
Why did I never build this?
Right. Yeah.
I forgot about it. I don't know if I remember this guy. I didn't read that right the first time.
Right.
So there's actually one commander the other day, just real quick, that I picked it out one time to build it, and I was building it, and then I reread it, and I'm like, it doesn't work how I thought. So I put it all away. And then this time I just picked it up. I'm like, no, it did work how I thought. So I'm building it again.
Nice.
So I have a little bit of ADD when it comes to deck building sometimes because I'll get distracted by the new shiny thing or something I found.
Get it.
So, but anyway, I think that's a good tip. Very helpful, and it's good for your shop. And if you're not a regular to your shop, you're going to meet people that way who are going to be like, oh yeah, that's a good card. Hey, what do you play? And
yeah, and that's the thing too, is even if you only go there to shop their bulk, buy it, and leave, eventually, at least our shop's pretty good about this, they'll learn your name, and other people will keep seeing you there. And
they're actually, our shop is very good also at like, oh, hey, Sloan, this guy plays the same colors as you. Have you met him yet?
Yeah.
They'll do that. They'll try and like help you when they see that, maybe you don't talk to other people. I've seen them like lead somebody towards somebody, or they'll send them my way. It's like, you should talk to Duncan because he's got a ton of cards. Well, we don't have that. He might have it for trade.
The big one that I think at least I've gotten probably the most myself, and I'm sure Duncan and Jeff have both heard us when they're there, is like someone will come up and they're like, yeah, we're new to Commander, da-da-da. They're like, oh, this guy has a podcast that's about Commander. You should listen to it. His name's Sloan. His name's Duncan. Go talk to him. They'll help you out. Listen to their podcast. And so it's really cool that, we have a shop that's really good about that. I know maybe not every shop is, but yeah, even if you just go into your local shop to buy bulk every once in a while, if they're any somewhat decent business owner, they'll kind of learn your name and they'll remember your face, and they'll maybe kind of help you out and give you pointers and tips, and then eventually hopefully you'll build rapport and be able to kind of call it your home like Duncan does with his shop.
Yep, exactly. It's my shop.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you for joining us. Jeff should be back with us next week.
Yes.
If you want to find us on YouTube at youtube.com/@commanderspod, or you can email us, cast@commanderspod.com. Mm-hmm. We love getting emails.
We do.
Like, we really do. We love when people send us their decks or their ideas or their commentary, as long as it's politely put.
Yep.
Even criticisms welcome as long as politely put. So feel free to email us. Commanderspod.com, our website. You can always go there. Patreon.com/commanderspod. If you want to support us, we'd love to have you. And all your favorite podcast sites. I don't need to list them every week. You want me to?
I can do it if you want me to.
Sure, go ahead.
Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music. Even YouTube you can technically put on and just have it play the audio in the background. iTunes.
And actually ours is set up so you can choose audio or video.
Correct. Yep.
So easy way to bounce back and forth there. As always, play bold, swing wide, and don't forget to pay the one.